Awesome. Thanks, Carlos. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Finding Listings Through Farming. My name's Emily Baker. I am the group coach for the Mega Listing Agent, as well as a Maps Mastery coach. I am based out of Springfield, Missouri in the greater Heartland region. So we are really excited that you chose today to take the time to, go after listings with farming. Alexis, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yep. Awesome. So we are in San Antonio and I have the Alexis Weigand real estate group and we love listings. We built the business on our farming efforts. That's still where the majority of our business comes from. And we're just super passionate about it. So we'll help about 200 families make a move this year, and we are in the luxury market. So I'm just excited to share with you all what has worked for myself and my team, and then also what has worked for Emily and her team. Okay, so let's get started, because if you guys are going to want to find listings through farming, step one is going to be identifying your target market. Okay, so when I say identify your target market, you're probably thinking, how do I do that? What do I look for? So the first thing I want you guys to think about is price point, because what you focus on expands, and we don't want you to just land in a neighborhood because that happens to be where you got your first listing. When I first started getting into the business, I took a class very similar to this, and this was my homework. And I said, okay, well, it seems to be the same amount of work to go work a $250,000 listing as it does a $1 million listing. And million in our market in San Antonio is super luxury. So I chose a listing in a $1 million neighborhood that was about 10 miles from where I live. And so that's what I want you guys to do. I want you to figure out what price point gets you excited and that you also feel comfortable working. And then I want you to look at days on market. And I know that currently we're in very much of typically a seller's market. I know some areas are seeing a slowdown, and yet I still want you to go in and do the research. Pull up your MLS, look at, also I want you to look at the number of homes in the area, in that neighborhood. And the goal is for you to start small, even if that's a street, right? And yet when you're doing your information gathering, because that's the stage that we're in right now, it's the research stage, and you identify that neighborhood, and it could be the one that you live in. I want you to look at how many homes are there, and then how many homes have actually hit the market in the last 12 months. How many homes have sold? And here's a big one. So as we teach you guys the action items to do, you're going to want to be able to put signs out. I would highly recommend not choosing a target market to start with that doesn't allow signs or has really tight sign restrictions, because that's going to rob you of a lot of just opportunity to go get business. And then same thing with no solicitation, right? So I would not go after there's a couple really great neighborhoods by us that are in our farm, and yet they're gated and they don't allow signs. And so we think, well, how are we going to get to them? It's exponentially harder to develop mind share and market share when you can't put signs out, right? And you have a hard time getting people in. So I would look out for things like that. I want you to look at an area that you like walking, because part of our action plan is going to be door knocking. So pick a place that you can, take your kids, and I'll use me as an example. My boys were 2 and 4, or maybe they were even 1 and 3, and I had a double stroller, and I had my listing, and I was going to door knock the neighborhood and hand out flyers. And so I just had my workout gear on, and I had the boys in the double stroller. And to this day, I still get listing appointments because people thought that I lived there because I had my kids. And, especially for us, at least our a little bit older clientele, they like to see us hustle, right? Nobody else is out there door knocking. And so I would just encourage you, my challenge to you is pick an area that excites you to go walk, because that is going to be part of your homework. Emily, what would you add to that?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. The thing is, guys, is it's really hard to create a personal relationship or to, connect with people when you can't be in front of them. So, people want to see your faces. They want to feel connected with you. There's a difference in having conversations versus connections. And so part of it is getting out there and being present. And so, and liking the area, right? When you're saying you like to walk the area, you really like that area, that you like the schools and all of that. So, talking about action, this is the next step, is creating your action plan, right? We know that what we focus on expands, and you may not like certain lead generation activities, and that's okay. It's choosing the lead generation activities that you like and that you're going to do. It has to be simple and scalable for us to, take territory and build a farm. And so when we look at what are the different lead gen activities that we can do, there are multiple things. We've got mailers, right? You can door knock and get face-to-face with them, or do, little pop-by events. We can circle call and we can call them on the phone. And then there's signage, and that, is having directionals and having your signs and balloons or big signs, right? And really disrupting the area. One of the things that is really popular, we're going to kind of go through these, is in mailers, you may have heard of the golden letter. And what the golden letter is it's really just sending a specific message out to a community with a need. So for example, let's say that you list a property and you get multiple offers and that property sells for over list price, right? You may say, "Dear homeowner, I had the privilege of selling 123 North Main Street, the Anderson's property. We got 7 offers. It sold $15,000 over list price. We have 6 other buyers who exclusively want to be in your community. If you've thought about selling for top dollar, please give me a call. I'd love to run the numbers with you." Something like that, right? Or maybe you don't have a listing yet. Maybe you've identified your target market and you want to go after it. And you're like, well, I know I have buyers who want to go in, and yet I can't find the inventory, right? I think that's something that we've all experienced recently. And that's sending out a letter on the flip side and saying, "Dear homeowner, I have a client, the Andersons, tell a little bit about them, and they want to move exclusively in your area. If you've considered selling for top dollar in this market, please give me a call. I'd love to see if it's a fit." It's short, it's simple, it's to the point, and it's scalable. And so, that's one thing. When you do list something, or when you put something under contract, or it closes, or we're having an open house, don't be afraid to do postcards. I think a lot of times we think, well, man, by the time I put out the just listed, it's already under contract, right? And that's okay. It's really getting specific on what's the message that you want people to know. And I know Alexis, with specifically, because we work together, when we look at mailers, postcards exclusively, she's got her branding on it. It's Alexis did it again. She's communicating to her farm consistently that she is the go-to agent, that she gets results in this area. So when they see the postcard, or when they get the letter, or they see your signs out, the goal is that they can't get away from you. It's just, man, I see you all the time. I see your face everywhere. I see your branding everywhere. You guys do so much business. Because if you really scale these activities, you could only have one listing, right? I remember when we wanted to go into a market and we got one listing, okay? And we went and we door knocked with flyers. We got a listing from that door knocking. Then we sold both of them, sent out a mailer. We got 2 more listings in those areas. And it just became a domino effect. And then we started getting clients for life. We did an ice cream truck event out and invited the neighbors for a mega open house. And so you can get really, really specific and creative on these. It just starts with one, right? So it just starts with one message and with an activity that you're willing to commit to, that you like doing. Circle calling, even with being specific with people, and just, calling it as it is of, hey, I'm not sure if you can help me or not. Do you happen to own a house over in Rivercut? Awesome. Well, hey, I know this is totally out of the blue. My name's Emily. I actually came across your property because the Andersons down the street. Yeah, well, we've actually had the opportunity of selling their home. We're really excited. We're anticipating a lot of traffic. So just wanted to give you a courtesy call to let you know that, you're going to see some additional traffic coming in and out, and wanted you, just keep your kids and everyone safe there. Just out of curiosity, we are expecting about 6 to 7 offers on the Andersons house. Who do you know, or have you thought about, entertaining selling in the best market we've seen for sellers? And it's just that tag of the hook. So those are some just examples. And what we do, again, if you just choose 2 to 3 of these activities and you mirror them together, and the goal is to make it simple and scalable. Yeah. What would you add, Alexis? I know your team does this at a high level.
You hear a lot about making a certain number of calls a day and hitting the phones and calling. And now that I've got a team, we do that. And yet when I was a single agent and a really small team, that was really hard. Like, I have 3 young kids. I have a husband that works full time, and I didn't have a lot of passion and energy and desire to go do that. And so when I took a course like this, I said, okay, I could get on board with, I go on a walk anyways in my neighborhood. I like walking at night, or in the evenings with my kids. I liked the, face-to-face of door knocking. So when Emily and I say, pick something that gives you energy, you may not know what that is. It may be that you want to go try these things out, and then real quickly you determine what maybe you don't want to do, and that will identify what you do want to do. And I just can't say how nice it is. 99% of our business, and we help serve over 200 clients a year. I want you guys to hear this. 99% of our business is come list me and come help me buy. And we don't do internet at a high level. We don't do outbound prospecting at a high level. We're learning. We have opportunity. What we do at a really high level is farm. And if you were to ask my ISAs, they go, hey, like if you were to say, what is the number one call that they get? It's, gosh, we see y'all signs everywhere. We see your face everywhere. So Emily and I offer a course, and it's called the Mega Listing Agent. And it's like Gary Keller says, you take a course once and it's, you've completed kindergarten. You take it a second time, you're in first grade, second grade. And each time that you take this course, our goal is that you implement at least one thing. And so the next time you take it, you're going to be like, okay, I've got step 1 implemented. Here's another layer. Here's another layer. And that's what I did. Because you can't go implement everything at once. Everything we're talking about, it takes time and resources. And yet what we want you to do is pick one, come back to us, and we'll help you implement that second, third, and fourth. And then that's when you get to sit back and you have the business come to you. And it makes life a lot more fun when your phone is ringing and people are calling you. So I don't know. I think that's all I would probably add. I just want to be an example to you all that you absolutely can build a huge business by farming a really small area. And I would encourage you all to go small and then grow. So our farm is 1 zip code. It's 1 zip code. So I don't know. I think that would probably.
Yeah, Alexis, your postcards on average make up what % of your business?
Now people, because we do it on, I believe, just listed, pending, and just sold. No, I take that back. We don't do just listed anymore. We do we do under contracts and just sold. And used to, in the beginning stages, the first couple of years I firmed, it was at least 50% because nobody else was doing it. And they would say, I get all your postcards, and they would see that we're doing business in the area. Now we source it as farm because the reality is we put up 15 signs for every open house, right? They just say, we see your signs everywhere. And what that means though is, because I asked them, do you get our postcards? And they pull one up and they go, oh yeah, we just got this one. So I think it's now become a combination of all of these things together, and postcards was the easiest thing I could scale that doesn't take time, that I could do systematically without touching it every single listing.
Yep.
So that really helped us jumpstart. And we'll teach you all of these things, how to do it, how much they cost. You'll get all of the examples of mine when you sign up for our course. All right, we want to go to the next one?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll take this one. Clear message of the market. In order to have a message of the market, we need to know our market. So again, let's go back to the fact that we're going to be information gathering. And what I want you to do is just become the market expert. Again, San Antonio is a huge area. We focus on one, and everything we do is around that one because there's enough business for us to succeed at a high level. And I'm going to guess the same as for you. So I want you to go in and I want you to study, look at how many price changes are happening. And we keep a really simple spreadsheet that's just every single week. So we can start to determine trends, right? It shows the percentage, but it also shows the number. So I can see, hey, in these last couple of weeks, our price changes have kicked upwards, right? For us, we're starting to balance. Now we don't hear that anywhere. And yet we're the experts because we study the market every day. We see these numbers weekly. So know how many pendings are on the market, look at any new listings, set yourself up on a search. That's what I do. I don't have to proactively go in. I get an email every day of here's the new listings, the under contracts. Know your off-market inventory, know your solds, and just no different than you would do for going on a listing appointment. I just want you to broaden your search. And so whether that's your neighborhood or that's a zip code, whatever that is for you, put it in your calendar, whatever it is, make it consistent such that when you are at your kid's soccer game or you're out in the community and someone asks, you're not just going, oh, it's a really hot market, it's a seller's market. You have those numbers in your head where you can go specifically say, well, actually and then whatever that is, right? Whatever the change or the result is of the market, you're talking numbers and they go, she knows her numbers, right? Your goal is to be the economist of choice in your target market. So that's pretty basic. Emily, what would you add to that?
I think that a lot of times as agents, we pull up the hot sheet on the MLS and we look at those numbers and we sometimes think that that's the same thing as what we're referencing. So just to be clear, we're looking at these numbers in your farm, in your targeted area. So specifically what's happening in that market. So when you are in the community, when you are door knocking, calling, sending out mailers, whatever that is, you are really specific to their community, your farm. And I think that that's a big difference because you want to know the macro, right? What's going on in the market as a whole. And yet you also really want to be clear on the micro. And you can pull all of that from your MLS. Like Alexis said, you can pull the hot sheet and know your macro numbers and what's going on in the market, and then set yourself up on a search and be very hyper aware of what's going up in your specific target market.
I wanted to add this. The fact that you're going to go do this research and you yourself are going to know is important. And what's even more important is that because if the title of this slide is clear message of the market, but it's not just to yourself, right? It's not for you to keep up here and to keep a secret. It's for you to articulate to the world, to the target audience that you're wanting to get in front of, that you always are on top of the market and delivering that clear message. So in our course, what we're going to do is help you help you understand how to deliver that, when to deliver that. And you'll get examples, like I said, of everything that Emily's done and I've done. But it's not just for your own knowledge. It's how do you deliver that, whether that's to your database of emails or to social media. What is it that we and other agents are doing that's successful? So, all right, what's next?
So it's getting into action. So, it's really, really, clarity is power, right? We know that from Bold, and we know that if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. So when you are getting into a farm, it is all about being intentional and purposeful with your time. It means that, like Alexis said, looking at our numbers every single day in that farm, right? Understanding what's happening, being the expert in that specific market. So when we know that, we want to calendar these activities through specific time blocks. Gary said earlier this year, someone asked, what's the one thing that if an agent did, they would absolutely be successful? Everything else would be easier or unnecessary. And he said, time blocking. If you can master your calendar, you can master your life. And when we look at our business and the different even personal life, right? It all revolves around intentionality with our time blocking and with our schedule. And so many times we put, I see, as a coach, I'll see like lead generation, lead follow-up, right? Recurring time blocks and things like that. And what I would challenge you on when you want to get really breakthrough in a specific area, or what are the activities that you're going to do within that lead generation time block or lead follow-up time block that relate to that specific territory. So for example, you create and order just listed postcards for 123 North Main Street from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., right? So if postcards was something that you were like, you know what, I could really scale this. It seems simple. It's doable. I can do that. Then you're getting clear and you're adding that time block specific. And that's what we want to see. When you go through your activities, it's the specific time blocks on your calendar that are going to help you get into action, so you don't forget, or you're like, oh shoot, I forgot to do this, right? We've never done that.
Oh, that's hysterical. Okay, so we've got 7 minutes, I think. Is that correct, Emily?
Yep.
And we've got a bunch of stuff in the chat channel. So I want to give you guys, well, first I want you to write down your one thing. Right? We don't ever want to go to a course or a training like this and not walk away getting into action. So what is the one thing you can implement today? And I want you all to write that down. And I want you to put it in the chat channel. The one thing that you learned today that you go, oh yeah, or that's new, or that's really exciting, I'm going to do this, and then put a time frame on it. By when are you going to get that done? And that could be identify a house that you sold, or one that somebody has in the market center, maybe that you want to do either an open house on, right? Just identify your one thing. And then like Emily said, make sure we get that in your calendar. Okay. So like we've said, Emily and I together, we host what is a group pitching course called the Mega Listing Agent. And we are 4 weeks away from launch, which is super exciting. It's $199 a month, and it starts on September 8th. We do this on Wednesdays at 1:30. It's a 1-hour time block, Central Standard. And just so you guys know, I don't know if you know this, but Emily, you took a previous team that you used to run from like 150 transactions to I think 600. Y'all, she did that in just a couple of years. So the systems that she's been able to teach my team how to put into place has completely changed our business. So we're just really excited to show you everything that we've learned along the way. And do we have the sign up link in the channel? If not, LT, can you drop that there? And you guys can also go to the Mega, it's www.themegalisting.com. Is that correct?
Yep. The megalistingagent.com.
themegalistingagent.com. Cool. Okay, so let's tackle some of these questions, Emily. Which one do you want to start off with?
Okay, I'm just scrolling up on the chat here. It looks like, thank you, Lauren. Lauren answered some of them. So, oh, this is a good one, Alexis. How do you find time to door knock? It seems like a low ROI of time.
Oh my goodness. I don't know who asked that, but it is actually my favorite lead gen. So I would say if I am spending, because we can either spend money or time, right? So I like to spend money to scale, which are directly our postcards and social media. And if I'm going to spend my time 110%, it's going to be door knocking around a listing of ours, because I can complement to connect when I door knock and nobody else does it. Name one other person who does door knocking in your target area at a high level. And people like to see that we're still willing to hustle. They don't necessarily need to see the most experienced agent. They want to see someone who's going to make them a priority and who's going to go door knock and hustle to go find that one buyer who's willing to pay top dollar. So how do I find the time? It's calendar, time blocked. From 2 to 5 every Tuesday is in my calendar. And my team knows that I don't go on listing appointments during that time, because I like to go with my other agents and door knock and work open houses. So I think it's just what you focus on expands, and what you make a priority, it goes into your calendar, and some stuff will be there. And then you'll have to say no to other things. What's another one? Get like 1 or 2 minutes more.
A lot of people are just saying, time blocking consistently, setting themselves up. We've just got a lot of what's the one thing that they're doing. Guys, any questions? Drop in the chat for us.
I was going to tell you, Emily, just by doing this, it reminded me, we've got 2 buyers that are looking for neighborhood or for houses in my specific neighborhood. And it reminded me that we should go and send a golden letter and just say, hey, we've got 2 buyers. And I like saying a couple details about the buyers, right? Yeah. If you've given any thought to making a move, please call us. We could easily help you facilitate an off-market sale in today's market. But I think the magic in those letters for us in the past has been getting really specific, not like, oh, we have 10 buyers. It's, we have, 1 or 2 buyers. Here's the profile on these buyers. Please call us directly. And then, and that's the call to action is call us for possibly an off-market sale. We could save you the hassle of having to list your house, go through the marketing and showings.
PropStream, Cole Realty Resource, RedX, those are all off-market phone numbers to find from a targeted area. Door knocking during COVID, it's just your area specific. I have teams that, never stopped door knocking. I have teams that absolutely, would never go door knock, right? Like in the Bay Area, they're like, no, absolutely not. And so it just is really, and people that can't, right? In New York and things like that. And so when you look at what it is that you're doing activity wise, if it's just be smart, right? Let's be smart to what's going on in our area. Yes, some things have changed. And that's where I've seen teams, we shifted over to, okay, well, what can we do? Let's go ahead and implement calling. Let's go ahead and implement golden letters and mailers. And some of them, even calling, some people can't call. And so what you can do is you can mail. And so again, it's just being cognizant of what is allowed and what's not allowed. And that is where we're choosing our one thing.
Yeah, the website link, guys, on it says where to register for the Mega Listing Agent. I don't think that's correct. Lauren, if you can post it, I think it should be the megalistingagent.com. And it just says, so we'll put that in the chat channel right now. Just to recap real quick, I go on, so our team goes on about 5 listings a week. I personally go on 3 a week. And whether you are looking to take your first listing going, I really want to know what to say, how to say it, how to prepare, or you're already taking 3 listings a week and you want to go scale to 5 listings, this is what our course is. So whether you're a newbie or you're looking to scale, we've written this course so that both individuals can take a lot from it and that you can take it multiple times. And each time, like I said, you're implementing something new, you're adding something new. So we would absolutely love to see you guys there. 4 weeks, sign up below. Anything you want to add, Emily?
No, just super grateful that you all spent time with us. Trust that this was helpful. Reach out to us if you have any questions in regards to our course, maps@kw.com. And you guys go have a great rest of your week. See you soon.
Thanks for joining. Bye.
Bye.